guys, it's me, the Haunted Wolf 12 here, back again to do another classic Halloween prop review, and this will be a review on the Gemmy 2007 life-size animated Deadeye Drake the Pirate Skeleton, aka the cartoony version with eyeballs as you can see, but this is also the rare version with the moving arm and body, which in my opinion is by far the best of the Deadeye Drakes. This, when I say this is one of my favorite Halloween props of all time, I'm not kidding. This thing was one of my holy grails for years and years and years. When I was a little kid, I was obsessed with pirates and pirate skeletons because Pirates of the Caribbean was a huge thing when I was little, you know, in the mid to late 2000s. So seeing something like this in stores was just phenomenal to me. I saw the static version of this in stores in 2007, but when I found out there was a moving arm and body version, that's the one that was on my radar to get. And it took me a long time, but I finally got one this year. I paid a good chunk of change for it. Ended up being like $350, I think, plus shipping, which is pretty high, but I have no regrets. It's just so incredible to finally own this thing after over 15 years of wanting it. It's just, wow. It's just one of Gemmy's greatest pieces ever created, I would say. Of course, I'm biased because of my love of pirates and pirate skeletons, but it's just a phenomenal character. It beats out the Scary Drake. I know a lot of people love Scary Drake, and I love Scary Drake too, but this one has so much more personality and charm to it. Just overall, the detail, I would say, they did a bit more on Scary Drake because of the weathering, but this is still just really nice. The skull mold is, of course, the same skull mold that they used on the Posable Reaper, but it's actually a full mold. And actually, if you didn't know, it's the same exact mold used for the Scary Drake skull, but pre-weathered, because for that mold they added a bunch of sculpting detailing to make it look more decrepit, but it's the same mold underneath actually. Like if I took off the hat, you'd be able to see the back of the head and the neck and stuff. It's all the same mold. It's just the face that they slightly modified for that skull mold. And it's kind of unfortunate that this and the Posable Reaper are the only characters that the skull mold was used on, because I think this is a really nice looking skull mold. But then again, because there's so few characters using it, it makes him more unique. Unfortunately, as you can see, these are not the original goblet and sword that he's supposed to have. They are the Scary Drake sword and goblet, but it doesn't bother me too much. The costume is, of course, very high quality. That's the one thing you can never fault old Gemmy for. The costume is just very nice. It's like actual clothing. They put a lot of attention to detail and money into the look of the clothing on these older characters. But of course, the real highlight of this is that this piece has 5 animations, which is simply incredible. Even for today's standards, you don't see that, except for the servo pieces, but it took them over a decade to match what Gemmy was doing in the 2000s, which is kind of crazy. You would think over time, more innovation would be made to make these pieces more lifelike, but it really went downhill up until recently, with Home Depot pushing SVI to use servos and make their pieces better. It wasn't like that. This was simply incredible when it came out, and it's still incredible today. It's incredibly lifelike, and the programming is just phenomenal. Except on one phrase where the mouth movement is a little off. Overall, it's just wonderful. The eyes especially, they programmed this much better than most of the characters. On most of the older Gemmy characters, the eyes just moved whenever the head did, and that's the case for most of the phrases on this. But at the end of a lot of the phrases too, he still shifts his eyes just a little bit at the end, just to creep you out just a little bit more. It adds to the character quite a lot. The phrases, of course, also flesh out his character much more than Scary Drake, whereas Scary Drake is just kind of there to be a scary pirate skeleton. This one has personality. Like, he talks about how he likes to eat parrots and shit. It's so silly, but it adds to the character. You don't see that anymore, because a lot of these companies, they just want to make a generic Halloween character or something that jumps out at you without thinking too much about the character that it's supposed to be representing. Whereas Gemmy, a lot of the times, they thought about the character before they created the prop itself, which is why I love a lot of the older Gemmy characters. Not only because of nostalgia bias, but also the care that was put into creating these pieces. As you can see, the eyeballs are the same that were used on the butlers, like Wade and stuff. These ones are a little cheaper looking though, as you can see, because this was a little later in the game. This is 2007. But it still looks pretty good. It's better than most eyeballs seen on props today. As I said earlier, the costume is very nice quality. This is like a velvet undershirt. This, I don't know what it is. It's some kind of nylon or polyester. He has the buttons of the butlers too on the velvet undershirt. And we don't really know where this one was sold exactly. Most of the ones released are the static body version, obviously. And even on those, for 2007, the boxes said moving arm, but a lot of online retailers said that was a misprint. So we don't really know what happened. Obviously, this had to be sold somewhere, and a lot of these pop up on the East Coast, so that tells me it was somewhere like BJ's or something, because it's usually a lot of like the bigger box stores and wholesale stores like Costco and Sam's Club that order these in large quantities because they can get it for cheaper. But there's really no evidence as to where it was sold at as of yet. I'm sure someone out there knows, but it's not come forward quite yet. But regardless, if you can get your hands on one of these, I highly, highly recommend it. This is one of Gemmy's greatest props ever created, one of their best characters. It's just simply phenomenal. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you him in action now.
Listen, this is an occasion for jolly good banter. So hurry up and do it, because I haven't heard you say anything even remotely good yet. You look like a fair crew of buccaneers. Let's hear your best yar, you scallywags. Ahoy there, swab. Take your fair share of grub, or you'll taste me cutlass. Backstabbing scallywags live short lives around my vessel. I beg your pardon, sir. Would you by chance happen to have seen me parrot around? Parrots are my favourite bird, with a side of potatoes. I'd say it's high time we have some poor unfortunate soul walk the plank. What do you say, Ricky? Beware. Watch your step this night, ye lily-livered landlubber. You see, me first mate, Barnacle Bill, be about, and he don't take kindly to whimpering cowards such as yourself. Farewell and adieu to your fair Spanish ladies. Well, down here then, a school of scurvy dogs what come up from Davy Jones's locker. You looking at me?
But yeah, now I'll go ahead and show you some more of his phrases up close.
Listen, this is an occasion for jolly good banter. So hurry up and do it, because I haven't heard you say anything even remotely good yet. You look like a fair crew of buccaneers. Let's hear your best yar, you scallywags. Ahoy there, swab. Take ye fair share of grub, or you'll taste me cutlass. Backstabbing scallywags live short lives around my vessel.
But yeah, I think that'll do it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like what you see, please comment, like, subscribe, and tell me below what other props you'd like to see me review. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.